that happened today. They're over with. They're done. But first, I'm not going to derail on everything today in college football because I'm gonna get everybody ready for next weekend. So, Alabama, they took care of business today, which they could have played a little bit better. You know, it just like the offense, it took time off. So, so you can't afford to do that. But overall, the SEC goes through Tuscaloosa this year. I really do. I think if Alabama can continue to play their cards right, they will get to Atlanta in the SEC championship. But against who? That's the question. Who could they play if Alabama continues to play their cards right and continue to win? Any win is good. Good, bad, or ugly. A win is a win. So let's get you people caught up on the scores around the college world today. Let's get it. Here we go. Ohio State. I'm sure everyone know they beat Wisconsin today in great fashion. 34-0. Indiana, they won as well. Texas A&M, they won a close game today. 45-42 over Arkansas. Georgia, they upset number 5 Ole Miss 33-35. You wanted to see a great game. This was one hell of a game. Tennessee, they put up a hard fight against Alabama, but Alabama won 37-30. Arizona State, they beat number 7 Texas Tech 26-22. Texas Tech, they're losing their grip. Number 10, LSU. I'm going to talk about them later, but not on here. They lost to number 17 Vanderbilt 31-24. Georgia Tech, they beat Duke. And Georgia Tech was an underdog. Can you believe it? Notre Dame, they beat USC. And Oklahoma, they beat South Carolina. I don't know what's going on out there in Columbia, South Carolina, but it needs to be fixed. Maybe it's time for a coaching change out in South Carolina. Utah, which I picked them to beat BYU, it didn't happen. BYU won 24-21. BYU is a team that a lot of people, including myself, has overlooked. And I apologize, BYU Cougar fans, for overlooking BYU. Hello, Pedro, what's going on? Virginia, they beat Washington State 22-20. South Florida, they're winners. That's another team that most people, are overlooking, which they shouldn't. Texas, they struggled. Arch Manning, I don't think he's that guy, but they won 16-13. And BYU and Cincinnati, they won as well. That's another team that some people, a lot of people, including myself, looking at Cincinnati like, where did they come from? Where did this Cincinnati team come from? They're 6-1 and 4-0. So take a drink. I'll be right back with you. So looking at that, coaching changes. I want to say South Carolina. At one time, South Carolina was a very, very great team at one time. Then all of a sudden, they just started to tumble. Arkansas, they started off the season damn well. And then all of a sudden, they hit a brick wall. Temple, they hit a brick wall. A lot of teams that started undefeated, like Arkansas, which I rooted for, I don't know what happened, but we'll see what they will do next season. Because Arkansas, I really thought they was gonna do something this year. When the schedules came out, I said, you know what? I'm gonna ride with Arkansas. Even though I'm a Bama fan, I still had faith in Arkansas, and they let me down. So, what's next? Got to hit the recruiting trail a little bit better. So now, a good friend of mine asked me to talk about Coach Sanders. What do I think about Coach Sanders? Well, I never met the guy a day of my life. Um, I don't think he's the right guy. I don't think he's the right guy for the job. Um, I think maybe soon they may start talking buyout talks because he doesn't go recruit the players. He said out his own mouth in an interview that he's not going to the recruiter's house. They gotta come to him. I'll tell you what, if I was a 5-star athlete, I'm not going to you. You don't see the players going to Kirby Smart, Ryan Day. Ryan Day goes to them. Kirby Smart goes to the recruits. That's what Coach Sanders needs to do. He needs to go to those guys. You got a lot of great young athletes probably want to play for Coach Sanders, but when you're not going to visit them and see what they're about and get a chance to know them, it's going to fall apart. And I think that's one reason why Colorado Buffaloes is where they're at now. So, college football this weekend is over with. So now I'm going to get into the NFL. I work tomorrow, so I won't be able to do the NFL tomorrow. So you know what? I'm going to do it right here. It's a handful of games on tomorrow in the NFL world. I'm a fan of the NFL, but I just don't watch it like I used to. Here we go. 6:30 in the morning. NFL games in London. The Rams, they're taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. That should be a pretty good game. The New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. The Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. New England Patriots and the Tennessee Titans. And the Raiders and the Chiefs. The Eagles versus the Vikings. The Panthers versus the Jets. The Giants and the Broncos. And the Colts and the Chargers. And the Commanders and the Cowboys. And the Green Bay and the Arizona Cardinals. And Sunday Night Football is the Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. And Monday night, we got a treat for you. Monday night, we have Tampa Bay and the Detroit Lions and the Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. So, I'm going to give you my game of the week. And then we're going to get into the NBA, which begins Tuesday. So, the first game on the list, we have the Rams and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Puka, the best wide receiver to me in the NFL. I think he is leading the NFL. He will be out for the game. Jacksonville, yes, they have two good wide receivers, but I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. The New Orleans Saints versus the Chicago Bears. I don't know about the New Orleans Saints this year. They don't look too good to me. So I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. Miami versus my Cleveland Browns. A battle of 1 and 5. Someone has to win this game. Both teams are pathetic. They're trash. I'm gonna stick with the loyalty, and I'm gonna stay with my my Cleveland Browns. New England and Tennessee. Drake May, he's that guy, folks. I'm telling you, Drake May is that guy. I am going with the Patriots. The Raiders and the Chiefs, great rivalry game. It could go either way. But the Chiefs, they woke up at the right time. So I'm going with Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Philadelphia Eagles and the Minnesota Vikings. That game is out of Minnesota. I'm going with Minnesota to take down the Philadelphia Eagles. Carolina and the Jets. The Jets is 0-6 and 0-4 at home. I'm going to go with the Jets. They may get their first win tomorrow. The Colts. Daniel Jones versus Justin Herbert. That's going to be a throwing feast. But I love the way Daniel Jones is playing. What's up? I love the way Daniel Jones is playing right now. I'm glad he got out of New York. He's playing a whole lot better. I'm not going to say MVP. Sports talk. I'm not going to say that he's playing at the MVP level, but he's playing really well. I'm going to go with the Colts with this game against the Chargers tomorrow. The Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, the Commanders. I don't like the Cowboys at all. Green Bay and the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to go with Green Bay. Sunday Night Football. Atlanta Falcons versus San Francisco 49ers. I got to go with the San Francisco 49ers. And Monday night. It's going to be a good game right here. Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay Buccaneers takes on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Should be really good. It should be a throwing feast in this game as well. Two good quarterbacks going at it. Baker Mayfield, he is my MVP. He is my MVP. But I got to go with Detroit in this game. The Texans and the Seattle Seahawks, that's easy. The Seattle Seahawks in that game. The bye week, the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens, they have the week off. So let's get into the NBA. The season starts Tuesday night. LeBron James, of course, he's out till November. Joel Embiid. What happens there? Will he be back or will he not be back with that injury that he had? So we know LeBron James, he's out. That's crazy that he's going to be out. So let's get you to the games for Tuesday. Opening night in the NBA, and I'm out of here. 4:30 p.m. Here we go. Kevin Durant and the Houston Rockets is taking on his former team, the Oklahoma City Thunder in Oklahoma. Then the next game, the Golden State Warriors takes on the LA Lakers without LeBron, but I think the Lakers will be fine. But those are your games for Tuesday, opening night of the NBA. I'm going with Oklahoma and the Warriors. Steph Curry, I'm looking for him to cook up and be really hot. So SGA as well for Oklahoma, and I'm thinking KD, he'll drop 25. So look, that's it for me, everybody. Y'all have a great night. The Big Shot Sports Podcast is out.